Good morning, welcome to a new video with me and my friends. We are in Michigan still, and today we're just about to go for a morning walk, and then today we're going to drive into the nearest town and get laundry done, and I'm hopefully going to find a shower to use, and then hoping to do a hike or go down to the nearest beach here on Lake Michigan and watch the sunset later. I did that the other night. It was so beautiful. And so tomorrow is supposed to be pretty rainy, and I debated whether I was going to stay here or not in this spot I'm at in the national forest, because the road getting in here is pretty sandy, but I think I am, because I think it's gonna rain just under an inch. At least that's what they're calling for. And the day I got here, it also did that. And because it is sandy, it seemed to dry up fairly quickly. So I think the plan will be to just stay here tomorrow and get some stuff done in the van. And yeah, so we're gonna go out and be out and about in the world today. So I'll bring you along with and show you this part of Michigan. Oh goodness. So I've been working with Coda on pulling on the leash, and as you can see, he's doing pretty good. He's not always like this, you know, it depends on where we're at during our walk. We're heading back to our van now, and so he tends to know that if we're on our way back, if we've done like an out and back kind of walk, he'll be a lot more calm on the way back, which is nice. So I do think we're making progress on the pulling. I've learned some techniques that are definitely helping. And as you can see, his focus is definitely on me. That has to do with, you know, his little reward system. So I do reward him when he walks calmly next to me and there's slack in the leash. So we're making progress. We're doing good. Ready. Just have to retrieve the kitty. One of the longest trips to the laundromat that I have taken in a while. I've had to rerun the dryers in there like 3 times and they're still going, but I did get some of my stuff done for now, so I was gonna just wait to put it all away until I got back to my spot later, but the animals are obviously giving me some space, so I think I'll just start putting some of it away now. Definitely make my bed when we get back to the spot, because then I can have Coda go outside, but here I'm not going to put him outside. So this has kind of become Coda's pillow. You can see it has a big hole in it now, this pillowcase. So I washed it and I'm putting the pillowcase back on here even though it's ripped, because he is using it. So I'll let him have it. Come on, bug. After far too long at the laundromat, finally done. And now we're going to stop at the post office and then go try a shower that I found that I'm hoping will be okay if I use. So we're gonna find out. It's actually at a campground, a paid campground. And I tried to call them a couple of times, but no one answered the phone, so I couldn't ask permission. but it sounds like it's a paid shower. But if that doesn't work out, then that's fine too. I just pulled in to this campground. I'm gonna stop at the office and see if there's anyone there before I just drive in and find the showers and make sure that it's okay that I actually do that. And then if there's no one in there, maybe I'll just go in and check it out. But I want to at least try to ask for permission first. No one in there, so let's drive in. There was a sign that said the ranger might be in the campground, so check that out. I see the shower house and I see a ranger, so I'm just gonna drive right up here. Hello. I have a question for you. I'm not staying here, but I was wondering if your shower house is available.
Yes.
I read that it's paid, so
Yep.
I thought I'd just ask.
Yep, you're more than welcome.
Is it this?
Yep, right here.
Okay.
And you can park right along the side if you want.
Thank you so
and
much.
it costs $0.25 for 7 minutes.
Wonderful. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Got the whole family here, so.
I see that.
Thank you. Well, that's great. For only a quarter. Get in there. Okay. That was so nice. I got my shower in for under $1. It was only 25 cents to take a 7-minute shower. And then you could, of course, add 7 minutes with another quarter if you needed to. So 50 cents for 14 minutes. I think that's a pretty good deal. I'm just going to finish, you know, the things that I didn't do in there, moisturize, etc. I'm gonna take Coda for a quick walk here so he can use the bathroom and just get out for a few minutes before I go back to town. And I think I'm gonna stop at a health food store that I found there and then maybe walk around the marina and just kind of get out in town for a little bit. Then we'll see what time it is and decide where I want to go see the sunset, if I want to go back to camp and make dinner first or just watch the sunset and have a quick dinner, something like that. I feel so much better now that I took a shower, and I think anyone who lives in a vehicle like this who doesn't have a shower like me, this is such a great alternative to having a gym membership. If you don't want to have a gym membership, I don't want to. I just know I wouldn't use it even for showering regularly if that's the only thing that I was going to use the membership for, because I really don't work out in gyms. I don't really need to. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, even if I just got a membership at one of the, you know, universal kind of gyms for showering, I really don't believe I would use it enough to make it worth it. So this is such a great alternative. It's just going to a campground that has a shower, and, you know, of course, ask permission if you're able to, and odds are they're gonna say yes if you ask nicely. I have done the exact same thing with doing laundry. Instead of going to a laundromat, I've asked campgrounds that have washers and dryers if I can use them, because they are paid, but they are also cheaper than a laundromat. So I've had luck with that before too, and just think this is something that people who do van life and share about it online don't talk about. At least I've never heard anyone suggest this, so I think it's a really good hack, and yeah, I'm gonna share it because I think it could save people money and help out the campgrounds too. Obviously, they're not really making a lot of money on the showers here, but it still feels kind of nice to, I don't know, be helping them a little bit, so yeah. This is Ludington, I think that's how you pronounce it, Michigan, and I'm just walking through the marina right now. Whenever I'm in a town with a marina, I have to walk through and look at the boats. One of my life goals is to have a boat, whether it's a sailboat or not, I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's always inspirational to look at all these boats. There's not a lot of sailboats in here. This is all the sailboats that you can see. There's another part of the marina and there was one sailboat. So it's definitely mostly fishing boats here in this town. You can see a sailboat, I don't know if you can see it, out there coming in right now. But yeah, it's a very cute little town. So we are back at our spot for the evening. I decided against driving down to the other part of the lake I was going to go to for sunset this evening. It's another 15 minutes from here, and I think I'm going to just stay here, make my bed, make dinner, feed them dinner, and just relax for the night. I'm also probably going to put some things away that I have outside and cover my firewood and stuff. It's supposed to start raining early morning, I believe. I don't want to leave anything out that is going to get too wet, so put my hammock away, etc. Out. So it did not rain overnight, but it looks like it's going to start raining probably in the next hour. It's thundering, and I've looked at the radar. It looks like there's a significant amount of rain coming today. So a couple of days ago, I added some weather stripping adhesive to both of these back doors on the weather stripping on top of the doors, because I have had a significant leak coming in both of these back doors, getting on my bed for a while. I actually replaced this weather stripping here, but for one thing, it didn't work. And another thing is that this one on the passenger door, they don't make it anymore. I don't think they actually make either of them anymore, but somehow that one was available and this one is nowhere to be found. So I think part of the reason with that one is because it didn't come with the, I think it's called a header or something. It didn't come with that, so there isn't anything up there. So anyway, I added some of that adhesive to both of these doors, and I'm really curious to see today if that helps and stops the leak. I'm really hoping so. If not, then I'll have to try something different. So it looks like I do still have a little bit of a leak on this passenger side door. Unfortunately, that's pretty wet, so I didn't see it coming in. So I'm gonna have to check that spot out here when everything's dry and see if it's just not sealed still or what. But so far, that's the only leak I see. I didn't see any on this side. It hasn't rained super hard yet, so we'll see what happens, but I just noticed that one. So upon further inspection, it actually leaked a lot more here than I thought, because this whole part of the bed is like soaking wet, and you can see it pooled up down there, and there was water here. So, I mean, obviously that's wet. So I might end up having to add something else back in here, or maybe more weather stripping, like additional weather stripping up here. That's something I read that you can do. You know, after these storms go through and it gets dry again, I will revisit this issue, because I definitely want to get this fixed before fall, where it's gonna definitely be a lot more wet than it has been. You can also see, you know, it's wet in here too. So, and I didn't add any weather stripping sealant on the sides. I only did the tops. If anyone has any ideas as well, feel free to leave them in the comments, but I'll definitely be continuing to try and address this situation. It's a new day, and I'm just about to drive over to a trailhead to go for a hike with Coda, and then come back and probably work on my wood carving that I'm making. And yeah, it should be about 3.5 miles, I think, is what All Trails says, but in my experience they underestimate a little bit, so we'll see what it ends up being. I think it's just a hike through the forest with maybe 1 or 2 lookouts to the lake. So yeah, I thought it'd be good for us to go out and get a good hike in to kind of start the day. Yesterday was fairly sedentary. I didn't really film much because there was not a lot going on yesterday. It was very low key. So I thought it'd be good for us to get out and get some exercise. Oh, bug. He's definitely ready. Just got to the trailhead and had to fill out and pay for parking. So what I've noticed is a lot of the places in Michigan that are like trailheads or parks or any recreation kind of area seem to require a fee, a day use fee or whatever, and it is like $5 for a day, or I believe you can pay $15 for a week, or you can get like a, it's called like a Michigan recreation passport or something, but I didn't feel like that was really necessary for me. I mean, I've probably paid 3 or 4 times since I've been in Michigan, which has been a couple weeks now, so, or almost a couple weeks, so it's not too bad. So we are back from the hike, and it was really nice. I'm really glad that we went on that hike. I think it ended up being like 3.6 miles, so it wasn't far off from what All Trails said, and it was actually really pretty. The entire hike was through the forest, but there were like different landscapes and a lot of different trees, different kinds of trees. And then part of it went up these stairs to this really high lookout over the lake, and yeah, it was really nice. And Coda's pretty tired now. He was just napping, but now Elion's running around outside, so he's watching her and very excited. And I am gonna eat this pear. It just feels like fall. So I'm gonna keep this fire going and work on a piece of wood that I started and see how far I can get on it this afternoon and just enjoy my day. I'm only gonna stay here in this area of the National Forest for I think 3 more nights. I think today's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm gonna leave Sunday and continue heading north. And I think my plan is going to be to drive up and around to northern Wisconsin. I think I'm gonna do that. So this is the spoon that I just recently finished. And what I'm going to make to go with it, because it's going to be a set, is a muddler. Now, usually muddlers are made with a lathe. Obviously, I don't have a lathe, so I'm going to make this muddler by hand. I've already got it down to this size, and I've just used my generic Husky hatchet to chop away all of the excess wood, and got it to about the same length, similar length as the spoon. That is Slobber from Coda, by the way. I just kind of wanted them to be similar. I wanted to make them both from the same kind of wood, but that wasn't possible. I got this piece of wood from my mom's place in Kentucky. I don't know what kind it is, but I really love how it turned out. I love the finish on it. I finished it with a raw linseed oil, and it just kind of, I don't know how well the color's coming through on camera, but it just turned out this nice soft golden color. And yeah, it has just, you know, some knotty detail at the end here. And then this piece I found out in the woods here in Michigan. Yeah, we'll see how this turns out. And regardless, I think they'll probably end up going good together. So I'm gonna work on getting this shaped a little bit. I have both my bison hatchet and my Beavercraft adze too. I'm going to potentially try using that to kind of help start shaping this a little bit. Really don't know how I'm gonna make this, like how the end is gonna be. It might be a smooth rounded end or a flat end, but it's not gonna be like, you know, that kind of like meat cleaver end that some muddlers have, because I don't believe I have the tools for that kind of thing. So it's gonna be a smooth end. I just don't know if it'll be rounded or flat. I can already tell that this is gonna have some pretty grain going down the side. This is gonna be definitely like the thickest thing I've carved, so it's gonna have the most like diameter. So there's gonna be like a lot of space for grain to show. You can kind of see it coming through already, so really excited. It kind of takes some getting used to using the adze if you're used to just using a normal hatchet, but once you kind of get the hang of it with your wrist, it seems like a very helpful tool. I'm able to get away a lot of excess wood just from the center where I want it. Also, I'm a total beginner, so like I know this is not like the best wood carving you've ever seen, but every time I carve something, I'm getting a little bit better, or just understanding how to work with the wood a little bit better. So that's what I'm doing right now with the adze, which is exciting because this is another tool that is helpful to get to the shape that you want. So I'm just enjoying this. Okay, so I'm getting closer to the shape that I want to at least start refining. It's definitely not going to be the most symmetrical muddler like a lathe would make, because it's just going to be made by my hands, but I'm still excited. I'm almost there to where I want to start using my sloyd, at least to start smoothing it out a bit. Sometimes that helps me see and visualize it a little bit better, so I'm going to just do a little bit more with my hatchet and then grab my sloyd and start at least smoothing it out. I also decided that both ends are going to be rounded, so I think that'll just be a little bit nicer. It'll be a smoother finish. Yeah, I think it's going to look the best if I do it like that. Okay, so I stopped for now so that I could make my dinner over the fire, which is just about done. But I thought I would just show the progress on this. I know it looks, it looks how it looks right now. This is progress. So I am pretty happy with how far I got. I think from here I'm going to kind of round out this a little differently. I don't really like how that would be for a muddler, and also just thin out this part altogether. It is a little bit thick for what I have as my vision for this, and then I'll smooth this out too. I'd like this to be like a smoother transition, but I do like how the adze allowed me to kind of like thin out this centerpiece a little better than if I was just going to use my hatchet. So this has been fun to play around with. I want to learn more about how to use this a little better, and yeah, other things to use it for. I also need to sharpen it. It didn't come very sharp, and I've only used it for one other thing so far. So yeah, but this is from Beavercraft, and I have a link for this in the description. You can get a little discount if you would like to try one yourself. It's pretty affordable for an adze. Yeah, I'll probably work on this more tomorrow. I'm gonna eat my dinner now, and then potentially go watch the sunset at the beach. I wasn't sure about coming down because it's so cloudy, but as you can see, the colors are amazing. This is so beautiful. There's no one down here. There's one person down the beach, and that's it. Otherwise, it's just us. It's just so pretty. We're not going to see a sunset, but to me, this is just good. So. Water makes me so happy. I'm really glad we came down here. It's so beautiful. thing missing is the smell of the salt water because it's fresh water. But oh man, I love it so much. Good morning. It's the next day. It is not great weather out this morning. It's very windy and pretty chilly too, so I'm making my tea outside. I was making it in the van, but there's something wrong with my tea stove. Ever since I left it out in the rain overnight one night recently, and ever since then it just smells like butane so bad. I think it's letting out a lot of extra fuel, so I need to get a new one. So until then, I have to use it outside. But I'm just making some tea, and then I'm gonna have a yogurt bowl for breakfast. I was gonna make potatoes, but it's so chilly and windy out that I am just gonna have something that I don't have to cook this morning. And then I'm gonna read my book for a little bit. It just sounds really cozy with the weather. And yeah, and then the rest of the day, I want to finish my muddler today, hopefully, and also I would like to get it sent out to someone. So that set that I'm making is for somebody, so it's not going to be listed anywhere. So anyway, we're just having kind of a cozy morning in, and I think the weather is supposed to stay like this all day long. So it's just going to be one of those days. Anyway, this is our morning. I have just finished spending some time working on the muddler. I'm not done with it, but I am done for today because my thumbs are getting a little raw and sore. So I'm gonna call it quits on this for today, and also on this video, I'm gonna say goodbye here. I will try to take a clip of this and the set as a whole and show you in the next video in case you're interested. This isn't really turning out exactly the shape I was going for. It is hard to carve something so symmetrical by hand, I'm finding. So I'm just gonna take it as a learning experience, and yeah, I'm still excited to see it done. I think the grain is gonna look really pretty. But yeah, I think I'm going to transition now into just planning out my next few days and then making dinner and calling it an evening. So thanks for watching another video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. It's a barred owl calling. Working on the muddler. I'm almost done with it. That was cool. Almost done with the muddler. I changed it a little bit. So I changed the bottom. I'll show you when it's all over and tell you what I did.